Hello, my name is Shauna and I am the school mental health nurse from the Lynn. I am here to talk to you guys today about how your learning space is impacting the way that you learn. We're all online these days doing school and work, and our environment is really important in the way that we concentrate, focus, and are motivated to get work done. As you can see from this image, this young lady is sitting on her bed doing her schoolwork. When I talk to students, I'm hearing from them all the time that this is where the schoolwork is getting done. They are sitting on their bed, they're watching their online classes from bed, and I know it's cozy and it's a comfy place to be. There's some difficulties with this environment. When we think about our brain is cued to do certain things in certain places. So we've taught our brain over time that when we get in bed, that's the spot where we sleep. That's the place where we're quiet and calm and we go to sleep. So when you get in bed and you're in your jammies and you're watching your class online, students are falling asleep and they're finding it really hard to focus and concentrate because their bed is making them think it's time for sleep. So we really want to move away from the bed into a place, either a desk or a table or a chair, somewhere in your world where your brain can know every time you sit in that space, it's time to do work. And I know it's hard to find space these days. Everyone's jostling in everyone's house to find the right place to be, but we really want to find the spot that we can do work. So every time you sit at this particular desk, your brain knows it's time to do schoolwork and you're able to focus. When we think about a classroom, as soon as you walk in a classroom, your brain knows you're in a classroom. There's things on the walls, there's bulletin boards, there's pictures, lots of things are cueing your brain to know it's time for schoolwork. So we want to bring that into the home. So if you're sitting at your desk, you've got pictures up or bulletin boards or things that you have related to school, to the class that you're taking to help your brain know it's time to do schoolwork. We also want somewhere that's nice and bright. So lots of students are in their room with their blinds drawn. They've got funky lights going on in their room, but it's not very bright. Our brain is also cued by the sun. So when the sun is up, our brain is turned on. We're ready to learn. We're ready to focus. When it's dark, our brain releases what's called melatonin, which helps us go to sleep. So if you're in a dark room trying to do schoolwork, your brain is likely falling asleep. So we don't want melatonin release when we're trying to work. We want to be able to focus. So we want to have the blinds up, some sunlight in, some natural light to help us focus and get school done. The other thing we really want to worry about is interruptions. So we know it takes time for our brain to focus and get in line for work. And every time we're interrupted, it's hard to get back on track. We all know about that. So letting the people in your world know that you're doing school, whether it be a sign on your door or if you're sitting at this particular desk, then that's school time, so that people aren't interrupting you. Learning space can be really important and can really help with motivation, so it's important to try to find a space that really works for you. The other part that's been really challenging for people is that so much is happening online, and our online world is really developed to be quite addictive and to really change the way our brain functions. So when we're doing schoolwork online, we're tempted to our phones, we're tempted to social media, we're tempted to online video games. And the reason for that is it's a hormone called dopamine, and dopamine is our feel-good hormone. It gives us a little zip and a little bit of happiness, but our brain really wants it all the time. And when there's dopamine involved, it's really hard to focus and get work done. So every time you're leaving your schoolwork to go check your Instagram, your brain is actually changing route. So if you're imagining driving down a road, you took a side road. And we really want you to stay focused and on the road that you're on to get your schoolwork done. So you want to limit the distractions you have with these gaming and other devices. So some students will actually put those other devices in another room while they're doing schoolwork. They'll lock them up in their desk, they'll turn them off. If it's a real problem for you, you might want to ask your family for help. So to take those devices away from you while you're trying to do schoolwork, to set small goals. So to say I'm going to focus on this English lesson for 30 minutes, then I'm allowed to take a 5-minute break to focus on, check my Instagram, and then I go back to schoolwork again for 30 minutes if you really can't let it go. But it's really hard for our brains to focus. We're in the midst of a pandemic and it has changed the way we all do work. The thing is, we are going to come back someday. And you as an adolescent, your brain is actually being built. So what you're putting into your brain and the way you're training your brain is actually building your brain. So when we think of a muscle that we work out and we build, your brain is being built in that same way. So you want to really work at focus and concentration, because when you come back to school, hopefully soon, the expectation will be that you can sit in a classroom and be focused for the amount of time. Or when you go out into the work life, that you are able to focus. And we want to be sure we're building your brain, the healthiest brain we can. So that focus and concentration isn't just about getting the task in front of you done, it's about training your brain, teaching your brain how to do that. And the more we work on that and we work that muscle, the better at it will be. Thanks so much, Notre Dame, for having me, and I will hope to see you soon.